Assalamu alaikum. This is lecture number 8 from the course State Organizations Management أو إدارة المنظمات الحكومية for the English section level 3 Faculty of Commerce Zagazig University. The lecture will introduce or discuss the structure of the government, the executive branch. It's chapter 4 in our textbook. Actually, I have customized the chapter. The chapter was about the American structure of the government, and of course we are dealing with Egypt, not with the United States, so I made some not some total adjustment for the chapter for us in this course. Let's start with the classical branches of the structure of the government. Of course, you know, according to the Constitution, we have 3 branches in our state: legislative branch, executive branch, and judicial branch. Of course, in Arabic, we are talking about السلطة أو الفرع التشريعي والتنفيذي والقضائي. In our chapter, we will give details about each one. For example, in the legislative branch, we will talk about the House of Representatives, اللي هو مجلس النواب, and also الشورى, which has been cancelled at the present time. Also for the السلطة التنفيذية اللي هي executive branch, we will introduce the cabinet and the presidency institution. Also in the judicial أنواع المحاكم and courts in Egypt. Let's start with the legislative branch. يعني احنا we used to have to have a bicameral parliament, which means غرفتين يعني للتشريع. Now we have only one, which is called unicameral. In English, it's one legislation chamber here. It means that احنا عندنا غرفة واحدة فقط للتشريع, which is the Council of Representatives. Before that, we had 2 Council of Representatives, and the Shura Council now has been cancelled. Though the Shura Council hadn't had any legislative authorities actually. So anyway, the Council of Representatives represent the principal legislative body. In Egypt, it controlled the cabinet and the public sector, and the central auditing organization اللي هي الجهاز المركزي للمحاسبات reports to it. Also, the Council of Representatives approve public budget and plan. That means that المجلس النواب هو اللي بيوافق على الموازنة العامة للدولة وخطط الدولة in general. Public budget and plans. Shura Council, let's refer to it, though it is cancelled now. Drafts and plans for social and economic development. They do research. They bills referred by the President of the Republic. Any laws, that means any laws that the President intend to publish. It goes first to the Shura Council to be studied. Also, matters relating to general policy or international issues used to be passed to the Shura Council for extra studies before it is implemented. A brief about the judicial branch, which is the السلطة القضائية. On the top, we have the Supreme Constitutional Court of Egypt, which is المحكمة الدستورية العليا, and we have the Court of Cassation, محكمة النقض, Court of Appeal, Court of First Instance, محكمة ابتدائية. As you see here in my slides, I've written the Arabic translation. I thought that this chapter we need the Arabic names beside introducing the principles in English. Family court اللي هي محكمة الأسرة, Islamic, Christian and secular اللي هم بلا ديانة يعني, public prosecution اللي هي النيابة العامة, administrative judiciary اللي هو القضاء الإداري, state lawsuits authority اللي هي هيئة قضايا الدولة. For the executive branch, which is the central point in our chapter, we have the central administration وفيها الرئيس elected president which has an executive office, طبعا له مكتب أساسي للرئاسة, and the cabinet اللي هو مجلس الوزراء reports to the cabinet أو consists of the council, ministries and different committees that reports to the cabinet. Also we have central advisory agencies, بعض الهيئات الاستشارية that reports to the cabinet. Related to the executive branch, we have the local government, the public sector and public authorities. Let's start with the central administration in the top here. We have the president, the head of the state, executive office and consultative bodies of the presidents. عندنا المكتب الرئاسة وعندنا we have some استشاريين consultative bodies to the president. Also we have assistants and assistants to the president and different consultants he or she may hire or present to help him or her in her job. Specialized national councils اللي هي المجالس القومية المتخصصة. Also we have here in our slide under the central administration we have the cabinet of Egypt, مجلس الوزراء, a prime minister and cabinet ministers or ministries اللي هو رئيس الوزراء والوزراء. Ministerial committees, اللجان الوزارية. After that, a big important part for managing the state is the central consultative organizations اللي هي التنظيمات اللي هي المركزية الاستشارية. State Council, مجلس الدولة. They are consultants for legal, legislative and administrative problems. أي مشاكل قانونية تشريعية are passed first to the State Council to provide opinion, and it is always appreciated and put into consideration because they are specialized in such legal and legislative point or matters. النيابة الإدارية as well, administrative prosecutions. Here we are talking about the prosecution in النيابة that is related to the work problems, disciplinary issues in public sector and in government. يعني مشاكل الإدارية للعمال والعاملين whenever there are violations يعني مخالفات to the law committed by officials, employees, public employees, يعني they are submitted to the administrative prosecutions for investigation before it is submitted to courts. Center Organizations for Statistics اللي هو الجهاز المركزي للإحصاء. Also the Administrative Control Organization هي الرقابة الإدارية. Center Organization for Organizing and Management اللي هي الجهاز المركزي للتنظيم والإدارة. Those ones الحقيقة يعني they have great contribution to the government or managing the state in general. Another important part is the local government. It means in Arabic, of course, and we use Arabic here because these are Egyptian terminologies. It must be introduced in Arabic as well. This is الحكم المحلي. الحكم المحلي is related to the governance for specific geographic areas. So it is about managing المحافظات, governorates, cities, villages, centers, districts, and so on. According to our state, according to Egypt, local areas, local geographic areas have local authorities. They have independent budget, they have local executive organizations, and they have control by such central organizations and government. مفروض ان هم they have legislative or legislation bodies control, but this is not in Egypt actually. If it is in Egypt, so we will see representatives, نواب يعني عن كل محافظة وكده. يعني في مفروض مجلس نواب على يعني زي مجلس المدينة كده أو مجلس المحافظة أو كده. We don't have we don't actually the second thing is the judiciary branch اللي هو السلطة القضائية. Also as well we have courts in governorates. عندنا هنا في محافظة الشرقية وفي باقي المحافظات we have different types of courts. Especially the administrative judiciary is very important nowadays, that they are spread all over the geographic areas and countries, especially in Egypt. Of course, we have some structure for controlling the state. We have control from the executive branch in the capital, from the ministries and the governmental agencies and organizations like التنظيم والإدارة, like the Central Organization for Auditing اللي هو جهاز مركزي للمحاسبات. And then we have the governorates, عندنا المحافظات and the cities and their councils. So this is the whole structure for the local government in Egypt. After that we need to discuss why do we need a local government working with the central administration. We list here in this slide the different reasons why. أول حاجة طبعا this is the democracy demands. It's a democratic way for controlling and managing and responding to people's demands. This also as well an important way for giving away or enhancing or raising, this is a nice word, raising local leaders in different places and geographical area in the country, a way for decreasing the complexity of problems instead of having problems amplified by their parts in different governments. Why not decomposing يعني تفتت البروبلم to different governorates, different cities, not to be moved up to the central level of the government. This is better social, political and economical way for development by dealing with different local issues and plans, better consideration for the local attributes. Each local and governmental geographic areas has its own attributes. So having control and governmental organizations in different geographic areas will be suitable for different attributes. Having fairer taxation systems according to different geographic area, better responsiveness to citizens, and this is related to the democracy way of governance, facilitate more effective and efficient administration. Let's then have a look at the structure, hierarchical structure. We have in the top, طبعا above this we have the central government, and then below that we have the governorate المحافظات، وبعدين عندنا المراكز centers and cities and districts in like الحي شمال القاهرة، جنوب القاهرة and so on. We have هنا حي أول في الزقازيق and تاني and so on. And then after that we have villages. Also we continue introducing the structure of the local government. The governorate level we have مجلس محلي المحافظة اللي هو governorate local council at the top level for decision making, and then below that the governor اللي هو المحافظ who is يعني of course leading the council. الجوفرنوريت جنرال سكرتري اللي هو السكرتير العام المحافظة، الجوفرنوريت اكزيكتيف كونسل اللي هو المجلس التنفيذي المحافظة. We will see the same structure for the center and then the districts and then the village. The central administration we have center people local council المجلس الشعبي المحلي المركز as can be mapped here to the مجلس المحلي المحافظة، رئيس المركز and the matching one at the governorate level is المحافظ. Center Executive Council مجلس التنفيذي المحافظة. The same here, we will see the same arrangements or structure for the cities. We have مجلس الشعب المحلي للمدينة اللي هو cities people local council, head of the city executive council and so on. You see this chapter is about lists of the structure, organization of the whole state. الدولة متكونة من ايه؟ يعني محتاجة حفظ. We need to be aware of who and what type of organizational unit, governmental one at the governorate, at the central level, judicial branch, legislative branch and so on. Villages administration, we have head of the village and we have the village local council. Then one part of the local government ودول تابعين للوزير بتاع المجلس المحلي، وزير الحكم المحلي أنا آسف. Some authorities like الأقاليم الاقتصادية وهيئات التخطيط الإقليمي اللي هي Regional Planning Commission، المجلس الأعلى للحكم المحلي led and headed by وزير الحكم المحلي، the Minister of Local Government, Supreme Council of Local Government here, Secretary General for Local Government اللي هو الأمانة العامة للحكم المحلي، and then جهاز بناء وتنمية القرية اللي هو Village Building and Development Organization. The main problem here, this is the concluding part of what we are talking about, and also the next slide. We have here what went wrong with the local government. Why the local government are not really effective in Egypt. Why? Because Egypt is still centralized. We still believe in centralization. We still not able at the governorate or the city level to make a decision and make it happen unless we go to the central unit. This is the reporting part. Reporting relationship still ambiguous between central and local government. We have lack of awareness of public participation at the public level, at the people level. How do we participate in managing local areas? Lack of political من الناحية السياسية بقى احنا lack political, administrative and technical expertise in such areas. In order to make local government more effective and succeed, we have few points here. We need better legislations to precisely specify its authorities and responsibility. This is to deal with the ambiguity of how local government control and what are their authorities. We need to build more enthusiasm, الحماس. We need enthusiasm for local government more than the current status in local government. We need to have more democratic environment. We need to delegate more powers from the central delegated to the local authorities. يعني محتاجين تفويض سلطات اكتر من كده. يعني احنا we need ان نشوف المحافظ has more authorities. رئيس مجلس مدينة has more authorities than what we see nowadays. Designing more efficient control systems at the local levels. Designing better system for technical and administrative systems as well. And the last point we have is about public sector. Public sector is part of what we have at in our course in state organizations management. Public sector اللي هي الوحدات الاقتصادية الشركات يعني that is owned by the state. And also we have something related, it's called public authorities اللي هي الهيئات العامة. يعني الهيئات العامة هنا they have some economic activities, they make money, they make profits, but they are not really companies like the public sector. يعني عندنا هنا مثلا ايه ال public authorities زي هيئة سكك حديد مصر مثلا، خط النقل العام شرق الدلتا وغرب الدلتا وكده، شركات توزيع الكهرباء، يعني او هيئات المياه، بس الحاجات دي بتتحول لشركات nowadays. So they differ than the public business sector اللي هو شركات القطاع الأعمال العام. The public authorities they usually deal with utilities، يعني they managing utilities، مرافق عامة that makes money actually. So they need to have some profit center and economic management for such things. It's not only a service that is introduced to the public, it also need to consider the economic and money making consideration. The public sector هنا main problems طبعا nowadays يعني negatively influenced by the social and employment problems in Egypt. يعني whenever we have some employment problem عايزين نعين ناس يعني في الدولة، so يعني central higher level decisions are made to make these companies hire people though they don't need them, so they make some or they result in inflated organizational structures. يعني بتبقى متضخمة، يعني inflated هنا احنا عندنا حاجات بتبقى متضخمة من العمالة and so on. يعني suffer from inability to renew its investments. دايما احنا we always see ال public business sector مش قادر يجدد استثماراته. They have financial problems, inability to compete، مشكلة المنافسة. يعني ال public business sector they always have يعني incompetency to deal with competition with the private sector. Always requires reform. دايما بنشوف ال public sector has الحكومة بتعمل لها reform programs continuously. Thank you. That is the end of المحاضرة, our lecture number 8. See you in chapter 5 إن شاء الله.